Hello everyone, this is Jason Ballet. I'm the creator of Guardians of Magic, and last night I was doing some research for a few of my books, and I wanted to learn some more things about Atlantis and so on. So last night I was reading this book, Atlantis and Lemuria, The Lost Continents Revealed by Tom T. Moore. So very good book, very fascinating book. So I was reading this book last night and I came across some information about crystals. And they started talking about crystals in Arkansas. So I thought that was pretty cool, because what are the odds of me taking a trip to Eureka Springs for a QHHT class in Arkansas in Eureka Springs, and there's a special reason why they hold those classes there, because of the crystals under the ground. So, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I made a trip out of it. I went to some of the crystal mines, the crystal caves, and so on. So after the class, the QHHT class, I went to these crystal mines where you can dig for your crystals and so on. You can go out there with a bucket, a shovel, get your crystals, start digging around. Whatever you find, you keep. So now these crystals that I'm about to show you, I did not find them, but you can buy them and so on. And these are from Arkansas. So, and there's something neat about these crystals. When you rub them together, they light up. So I'm going to show you later on that these crystals will light up when you rub them tight, firm, and quick. So very fast, and they will light up and they'll glow. So later on I'm going to show you that these crystals light up. So I started reading this book last night about Atlantis and Lemuria, or some people call it Mu, M-U. And there's a page I want to talk to you about, let you know. Page 96. And over here it starts talking about the Arkansas crystals. So it says, yes, first they were found on Atlantis, as they had huge deposits of these crystals, and eventually large mines to carefully remove these large clusters from the ground. Then they became of a quality closer to those in Arkansas. Interesting. Than those of Brazil. The Brazilian crystals, as you have noticed, do not have the energy of those found in Arkansas, simply due to the minerals present in their formation. It takes a special type of crystal, so it will have the energy needed to be the energy source for thousands of vehicles of all types. So they would, in Atlantis in that day, they would use these energy crystals for anything, to power everything. You name the device, it powered the device. So it wasn't like electricity that we use. It was kind of like a different type of electricity from what they're saying. And they'll use these crystals, and it powered ships, it powered aircraft, it powered vehicles, transportation, their buses, their levitation devices, and so on. To heat things, to cool things, to even talks about their sewage system. It even ran their sewage system. So, and it gets even more interesting about all these crystals. Let's see if there was anything else. Let's see. Arkansas, that they found huge deposits of crystals there. And there's still a number of large deposits there with these energy crystals. So they're still there, they're still activated from the Atlantean times. And so these crystals had no wires, and it was more like radio waves. So the crystal will beam these energy waves out, and these devices, whatever had the power, would have a receptacle on it to power these devices. So the other question, was this free energy, or did the people have to pay for it to use? No, it was free. Each home had its receptors of a sort which brought in the crystal power generated by the huge crystals. So it was wire, and then the next part it says no, it was wireless power. Next question. How were the crystals in Atlantis deactivated from the final destruction? At the time, much more was known about the crystals, on how they worked, and the energy that emanated from them. Therefore, it was not difficult to activate or deactivate a crystal. And it says it was not hocus pocus. It was more science. You, as a human race, have been avoiding exploring crystals, as deep down you fear using these again and destroying your civilization. I can assure you this will not happen ever again. So with QHHT, it's past life regression. So a lot of people on Earth have past lives. I've already met with so many people that already had past lives on other planets. 15th century, the 16th century, and so on. Even the 1920s, and Atlantis, Lemuria, India. The list goes on and on. So if you live on Earth, more than likely you had a past life. So unless you had a fill-in or something like that. Now that's a whole nother story. So I don't even get into that. But anybody on Earth has a past life. So more than likely you had a past life from Atlantis, and you was a part of the Atlantis age, and you lived with these crystals, and you had an understanding of these crystals. So, and the crystals were so powerful that we destroyed ourselves with these crystals, went to war, and we have a fear of using these crystals again because how devastating it was, this technology. So, but it does say that this knowledge needs to come back, and that we need to explore this again, and so on, this free energy from the crystals. Next part, it says that when the islands of Atlantis appeared to be about to sink, some of the crystals were reburied in Atlantis, and those are the ones being activated again to assist you in bridging over to the fifth focus. So they say fifth focus in this book, but in QHHT we call it the fifth dimension or fourth dimension, and so on. So I'm starting to see some similarities with the New Earth, or the QHHT version, and Atlantis. So I'll do another video about that one. So make sure you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, because I will do another one where I'm picking out some similarities that I'm finding between the current Earth, Atlantis, and the new Earth that's coming up. So, or the higher dimension Earth, whatever resonates with you. Let's see. So next section. It says, there are scientists on Earth right now who work with these crystals in Atlantean times. So if they can overcome a deep-seated fear of what occurred during or before when the crystals was misused, then you will unlock the secrets of the crystals. So it says here that there's scientists on Earth right now that had a life in Atlantis, that are living right now, but they're not exploring this technology of using crystals. So my whole thing is, if you're of a scientific mind, if this information resonate with you, and you have a scientific mind of energy, then I want to meet you. I want to talk to you, set something up with you, to get something going, to explore if you had a past life in Atlantis, to see if you have any knowledge of this lost crystal technology. So if you feel like you had a past life in Atlantis, then contact me, send me some information, and I'll put a link into my website. It's jasonballet.com, and I'll submit a link. But I'm trying to bring a lot of this information, because these crystals aren't just using devices to be powered, like cars and vehicles, you can also use these crystals for healing. So, because we're our energy beings and we're made up of energy. So, if we can discover this lost technology, this lost information, then we can also use this to help out in other fields as well, medical wise, and cure people, and have crystal healing stations or something like that. So let's see if there's anything else. But for the most part, if you're a scientist, if you know someone that deals with energy and electronics and so on, and they want to see if they have a past life in Atlantis, to see, hey, maybe you was a scientist in Atlantis as well. You're a scientist here, you possibly was a scientist in Atlantis. So to explore that and to get that information, that lost information. So hopefully get something going. So they do say that we need to explore this knowledge now and explore this and get something going. We're behind, and to get this free energy, and hopefully I can do something about it. QHHT, past life regression. So I'm starting to see some things add up. One more time, and I'm going to leave a link for the book as well, but Atlantis by Tom T. Moore. Very good book. Lost Continents Revealed. So, and it's a conversation with him. He's talking to his spirits, his guardians, Gaia. I think one of them's name was Theos. And another person beginning with Akurian. But a lot of interesting information. It's about 230 pages. About 230 pages. Now I'm going to show you what these light crystals can do. You probably already know this or not, but I thought this was cool. I never heard of these crystals lighting up. So I'm going to grab them and I'm going to change the scene somewhere that's completely dark. Okay, so we're in my room and you have to be in complete darkness. So all the lights have to be off and everything. A little story that goes along with it. When I was buying these crystals, I asked the lady, what is this one all about? It was on the shelf. And she's like, oh, read this sign. And she was explaining that there's certain minerals in here that light up these crystals and so on. And I was like, huh. And she goes, you don't believe me? I said, nah. I said, I never heard about that. So she takes us into the back room, closes the door, complete darkness in this back room. And she starts rubbing these crystals and they just started glowing. So it didn't light up the room, but it was neat to see these crystals glowing. So I even posted something on the QHHT group on Facebook. So I'm going to shut off the light. Hopefully you can still see me. Hopefully it's dark enough in here, but this is the darkest room I have at this moment. So alright. Can you see me? Just playing. Just joking. Alright, let's see if I can do this. Whew. Now it does take some work. You do have to rub them, and you have to rub them pretty hard. So I'm going to try it one more time just to make sure. I'm going to try it from a different angle. Okay, so hopefully you was able to see the crystals. So if you buy them, if you go to Arkansas and you buy these crystals, make sure you have a good grip on them. So these were the best I could find at that time. We were kind of in a rush, but these are the best I could find. So, but you got to get a good grip and rub them hard and fast. Put these back up here. But look at that size of them. I mean, and they probably had over 200, 100 of them. So, but you want to get nice flat surface, nice and long. So these were the two flat long surfaces I could find. So evidently some of them, a lot of them were crushed and they were smaller, but these are the ones I could find that were bigger, that had a flat surface and that were longer instead of something being so short. But she would not sell me the ones that she was using. So she's like, I can't sell you these. So she's like, those are my favorite. So Atlantis and Lemuria by Thomas T. More. Very good book. Tons of information. Tons of stuff. But like I said, share this video. Share this with somebody. You know, send it to someone. Say, hey, look. You talk about free energy. Have you ever had a past life in Atlantis? Doesn't hurt to explore, you know. So I'm definitely interested in hearing from you. If you are, if you're not too sure, maybe we could set something up, set up a session, and get something going. Share it with someone that is a scientist or someone that likes to mess around with the electronics, and they just need some lost hidden information, so we can explore that as well. But let's create some excitement. You know, people out there complain that we need free energy and so on. There's other avenues out there to get some of that information. So send it to your friend, email it, social media, anything like that. So I'll talk to you later. Make sure you subscribe because there's going to be more videos, but I'm going to post this one on Guardians of Magic, and because a lot of this deals with Atlantis, and so does that my sci-fi story. So have a good night.